Hey, you there. Thank you for watching. And welcome to Forward Science Forever. Today I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing no access map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. But before I do that, I want to shout out the person who sent me this replay. Thank you so much. Please, if you have a replay you want me to take a look at, please submit it to me at strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. The name of the person is down in the description who sent it to me, as well as my email to send me replays. Let's go ahead and take a look at Team 1 in the north first and end with Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's western side player, we have in Snow White, it is Smithers, playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1700. He is tied for the highest rated player overall, and he is also the highest rated player on Team 1. To his northeast in Chevy Crimson, it is Suri, playing as a Cybran. He is a 1400. In Royal Blue, to his east, we have in again Royal Blue, it is a Master of Seasons, playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1300. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Apologies. To his east, we have, kind of echoing a little bit of the environment next to him, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is Sock Full of Kids. Very interesting name. Of course, he is a 1300, playing as a UEF. To his south, we have in Glow in the Dark Green, matching the Mexis quite nicely, it is the Duelist, playing as a UEF. He is a 1200. To his northeast, we have in Imperial Gray, it is Blarg 6516 as an Aeon. He is a 1400. And rounding out Team 1's lineup in Amethyst Purple, it is Black Phoenix, not in Imperial Gray or Batman Gray. He is in Amethyst Purple as a UEF. Again, a 1300. So for Team 1's side of the map, they have 3 UEF, 2 Seraphim, 1 Cybran, 1 Aeon, which means Team 1 has all of the factions. Taking a look at Team 2's western side, we have in Ruby Red, it is CM Nicholas, playing as a Cybran. He is a 1700. He is tied with Smithers for the highest rated player in the game, and he is also the highest rated player on his team. To his southeast, we have in Orange Color Orange, it is Rygeist, playing as a Cybran. He is a 1400. To his northeast in Pac-Man Yellow, it is Twitch Mofo. He's playing as a Cybran as well, as a 1500. To his east in not Emerald Green, but Forest Green, the best color in all of Supreme Command. No biases here, of course. It is Hyper 2001, playing as another Cybran for Team 2 as a 1300. To his northeast in Regal Purple, it is Unmaker, playing as a Seraphim. He is a 900. To his southeast, we have in Lightest Red Pink, it is Rekather, playing as a Cybran. He is a 1500. So that's another Cybran for Team 2. And rounding out Team 2's lineup in the northeast, we have the one and only UEF on Team 2. It is Stormy Style in Rust. He is a 1300. So for Team 2's side of the map, they have 5 Cybrans, 1 UEF, 1 Seraphim. Team 2 lacks the Aeon faction. But, of course, I do expect with 5 Cybrans on their team, lots of monkeys, lots of bricks, lots of Medusa, and, of course, gotta love those possible Telemazer commanders. Taking a look at the reclaim situation for these players, currently sitting at 270,000, not 27,000, not 200, not 2,700, 270,000 mass in reclaim for 14 players. It is almost 20,000 mass per, and I can't even just imagine the crazy nonsense that happens in this game, because 270, that's enough to build literally anything in the game. Anything. Any of the game enders and a little bit of extra. That is a lot of mass to scoop up. We already have a gun upgrade started here for Team 1's the Duelist. In his main base, players are just going to be just constantly scooping up reclaim in this game, and I expect the mass income totals to just skyrocket as the game progresses. Taking a look at the mech locations here for Team 2 to scoop up, we have a Trimex on the eastern side, as well as a Trimex in the middle, Trimex more western, and we have a decent amount of kind of one-off mexes dotted, not necessarily all together, but there is kind of a nice little arch-looking thing going up over there on the western side. There are a couple of other one-off mexes dotted around the map, but again, the main concentration is essentially down the middle, with a couple of mexes very much secured in the backline for players to grab. There is 14 players on the map, and a decent amount of them are in the FC clan, so I don't expect that much in the conversation in terms of the chat. So if you're expecting to read a whole lot of conversation back and forth, maybe between the teams, but I do expect between the teams, essentially between Team 1 and Team 2, but inside of the team, it's probably going to be on comms. Of course, a lot easier to respond when you can hear it versus having to type it out. Gun started for Black Phoenix on the eastern side, so 2 guns have been started here for Team 1. Taking a look at where our players are headed off to in this game, or where they are, or where they divvy themselves up and whatnot. We have 2 players moving to the middle for Team 2, 3 moving on the western side for Team 1. That being Suri, Smithers, and Master of Seasons versus Team 2, CM Nicholas, and Twitchy Mofo. T2 started for Master of Seasons. On the eastern side, we see Team 1's Black Phoenix, of course, pretty far forward going for his gun. I would be kind of surprised if the duelist doesn't leave his main base. But, again, going for gun essentially right off the bat definitely indicates to me that he's going to at least approach some sort of either the east or the middle. We do see Unmakers kind of in the middle of the middle and the east. So, again, not really focusing on one lane or the other as of right now, but I would probably surmise that he would shift maybe towards this eastern side. There is a possible run-by opportunity for these eastern players. There's a little bit of a nice little, ridge that they can get around. So I expect to see maybe an attempt or two, either air or land. But I don't expect any player to really go this way and then around, and then up. It doesn't make sense to do that. We can just have a straight shot. Cuts down on travel time. And the whatnot. T2 halfway done here for Master of Seasons on the western side. Com action may possibly occur on this western side between Team 1 Smithers and Team 2 CM Nicholas. And they are slowly approaching one another. Shots are about to ring out. And there it is. Com action has occurred 6.5 minutes. T1 PD nearby Smithers' position will help drive back CM Nicholas for now as he gears up some T1 bombers to intercept said PD emplacement. But it does look like he's going after the engineers first, and he does barely clip that PD emplacement. Unfortunately, his bombers are shot down by incoming interceptors. His interceptors intercept those interceptors, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more interceptors intercept those interceptors intercepting interceptors. I think I said that right. Maybe. Definitely a tongue twister for sure. Gun started here for Team 2's Unmaker and CM Nicholas. We do have T2 started here for Duelist in the now kind of more shifted to the middle department. Team 1, we have 1, possible 2 air players for Team 1. Yep, definitely an air player for Team 1 up there to the east. Maybe we'll see a third out from Suri because he is, again, kind of on the back or a little bit further back behind a couple of players on Team 1, at least on that western side. Team 2... T2 Air has been started. T2 Air not started yet for Hyper. I would be surprised if he doesn't start it here pretty shortly. And T2 Air is done for Ragai. So at least 2 air players with a possible third. Gun now almost done for Unmaker. And gun started here for Suri. Maybe Unmaker is a fan of the Doom series with the makers and whatnot from that series. Anyway, Nano Repair started here for him as well. He is a Seraphim, so he gets a huge boost in Nano Repair because he is just a Seraphim. T2 started and almost done here for Duelist. And we do see now with the gun online here for CM Nicholas starting to push back Smithers. We do see a T2 PD emplacement now. Overcharge kills off a Team 1 engineer. And we see Smithers trying to get that second PD emplacement online. Looks like it will most likely be denied. The first PD emplacement is essentially dead. And now the second one is going to be the focus. And that'll be a slight win for Team 2 if they can get a little bit more momentum and push Smithers back. But we do see the gun upgrade almost done for Suri, which we immediately would assume that he's going to come and try to intercept CM Nicholas's comm. Gun starting on the western side here for Twitchy Mofo. Possible comm become action between him and Master of Seasons. It's Gun versus T2. That will favor Team 2. And Gun started here for Storm Style on the eastern side. Will not necessarily favor him, but it will make it an even playing field against his UEF opponent of Black Phoenix. Stealth started on board Twitchy Mofo's comm on the western side, and we will see if they do in fact engage. We do see that Ragas has pushed up a little bit, not as far forward as his other compatriots on the western side, but pretty relatively in the same position as Suri. No upgrades as of yet here for him. CM Nicholas continuing to push against Smithers. Smithers really trying to make those T2 PD work here. And it's just going to give some veterancy for CM. He's up to 3-star veterancy at 9 minutes, which is really, really good. Gives him a little bit more hit points in terms of total and regen. Will keep him alive just that tad bit longer. And Gun is now down on the eastern side for Storm, and Twitchy-Mofo almost done with his stealth upgrade. We do see CM Nicholas, not CM Nicholas, but Master of Seasons is slowly starting to PD creep against Twitchy-Mofo. And I don't know if Master of Seasons sees him. No, he does not. And once, it looks like a radar signature has detected him, but it will no longer detect him with that stealth upgrade now done. CM Nicholas is being slowly pushed back by Team 1. We do see Sudi has come to join the party over here, and those PD are still trying to be built and maintained. And now we see Nicholas almost at 4-star vet, and he's really racking up those kills and the mass kills in this game, at least this early. Eastern side, we have Stormstyle pushing back against Black Phoenix's approach. We do see that Unmaker hasn't moved any one way or the other. He does have a couple of Ilshis online, which will be very good. We're dealing with that Team 1 spam. On the western side, it is Red Player versus CM Nicholas versus Red Player Absurdi with some backup in the T2 PD department. Nicholas being focused down. Again, he's sitting at 36 hit points in second region. Can he get a piece of veterancy to save him? Yes, he can. He's at 4 stars now, up to 5,600 hit points and falling. Sudi is going to be pushed back here about the same amount of hit points, not necessarily the percentage of hit points. Still on board for Nicholas. Both these players, if they do escape, will go for a nano, I would assume. They have to build stealth first, but they'll probably go for it nonetheless. And Sudi is dropping. He's still staying there. He's still pushing a little bit. But again, CM Nicholas does barely get out of there. I feel like Sudi would have gone for the kill had that upgrade, not upgrade, but the veterancy not actually been applied. I mean, he would still be at 3. But, at the end of the day, they both survive. It could have been a murder-suicide situation over here if that had not happened in terms of the veterancy not triggering. But, there is that. We do see that now Ryguy is starting to shift more in the eastward direction, coming to assist Twitchy-Mofo's assault on Master of Seasons' very frontline firebase. Eastern side, we have Stormstyle pushing in against Black Phoenix. Stormstyle dropping into the mid-yellows. He is at no veterancy. Black Phoenix at 1-star veterancy, also gone on board, so sitting at a little bit more percentage of hit points, as well as, of course, just total hit points, just due to the fact that he has more hit points to play with. Team 1 PD going to help take out a lot of this Team 1 spam. There are a couple of pillars in the mix here for Stormstyle. We also see Unmaker coming in to assist. A couple of units from him trying to focus down the comm. We do see some reinforcements from the duelist moving in from the north. And it looks like he's just going to sit in the middle of the map and hang out. Not a bad play, to be fair. It essentially locks down any sort of avenues from Team 2 to go northward. They have to go on the eastern side or the western side. I guess they still have to go northward. They just can't use the middle approach, the central approach. They have to use the western or the eastern one, if I can actually talk correctly, because I can't do that half the time. Anyway, western side, CM Nicholas continuing to push. Again, he is really trying to just drive Smithers away. Team 1 land facilities have been eliminated. Smithers going for nano. He has gun on board in T2. CM Nicholas not looking too good. Again, like I said, it could be a murder-suicide situation. If Sudi dies, CM Nicholas might follow suit. CM Nicholas trying to get out of range, and it does look like a couple of last shots will be traded between the players before both of them dip underneath the surface. Missiles raining in on CM Nicholas's commander. Will he cancel the nano? At this point at 90%, it's definitely worth it to just keep it going. You'll regen those hit points very quickly, and Sudi will fall back, again dropping below 1,500. Very dangerous position both those players are in. But Team Nicholas is at 3,600. And in the east, Team 1's Black Phoenix has been eliminated by Maker and the forces from Ryguys. So I decided to include the clip of Black Phoenix dying after casting the game and watching everything else that happened. Of course, I decided that might as well do it. There's another play I'm going to be doing it for, so be on the lookout for that. But here we go. It is 12 minutes, 26 seconds on the clock. And we see that Black Phoenix is now being body blocked a little bit by some pillars. There are some Ilshis moving in to intercept. And they go, oh, maybe there's a comm right here. Let's go turn and face him. So a little bit of trying to hide in this little alleyway-ish between these two little hills. He's really trying to just dodge the command. He does get a rank in veterancy, so he stays online a little bit longer. but the Illusions are just too fast to catch up to him, and we see even units coming in around the other side as well. So essentially it's just a bad situation to be in. I don't know if he would have survived longer had he just walked straight back, but at the end of the day, he's really trying to stay alive as much as he can, but the units are just catching up to him too quickly and just shooting a lot of shots into his chest plate. So there he goes. He's killed off right there at 13 minutes and 13 seconds. So there is his death. So apologies for the cut. Again, there's going to be another one, so be on the lookout for that. And hopefully you are enjoying the replay as of right now. So that is a kill here for Team 2, dropping this game to a 7v6. I don't know if I'll include that kill or not. We kind of saw pretty much what was happening. I thought he was going to get away given he was already falling back, but it looks like he just wasn't able to get home or get further back in time. So I may or may not include that as a nice little snippet or not. Debating about it. Mainly the little snippets either at the end or during the cast are mainly, at least in my opinion, maybe, I don't know, maybe some opinions down in the chat will assist me, but for those kills or those deaths that I have just no idea what happened, where we're completely unaware of what happened, why they exploded or whatever. So there is a strap bomber overhead for Team 2's Extractor, so I will have to go back to that in a moment to cover that. So he gets back underneath the surface of the water. Once again, T2 gunship's not enough to kill him off. CM Nicholas back up to 4,000 hit points. Smithers does have Nano on board, 80 hit points a second versus the 42 in terms of per second, and 15.5 versus 14 total hit points, 1,000 on board, both of those comms respectively. Right, guys, trying to stop an incoming invasion from Master of Seasons forces. He shifts more westward to go after CM Nicholas's front line versus going after Twitchy Mofos. Stealth started at 4. Surdy definitely going to go for Nano. I mean, that's really the only thing I can think of he's going to go for with that upgrade. We do see T2 done. T3 started here for Hyper 2001. Strap Bomber is shot down, possibly, maybe. It does look like Blaric does take a hit, and that bomber probably was shot down eventually, I would imagine, because I don't see it. Yeah, it's shot down. I could check the reclaim situation. It probably flew off screen, to be fair, so I probably won't see it, but, never know. In terms of the reclaim overall, we started the match with 270,000. We're down to 57,000, which means total Team 2 and Team 1 have reclaimed more mass than what we started with, which is just a huge feat considering we're at 15 minutes, and total these teams have reclaimed almost 300,000 mass. Still started for CM Nicholas on the western side. T2 Tor Bombers inbound, trying to just, again, annoy Suri. Maybe get a kill, maybe not, but at a bare minimum, he does finish the stealth upgrade. So he is one step away from going from not having Nano to having Nano. Going to be able to regen a little bit quicker. T2 PD trying to stop the approach of Smithers' comm. He has no support from his own units. Does have a couple of forces inbound from his teammate and a couple of interceptors to protect against any sort of air assaults, which we currently see him facing with that T2 Renegade from Right Guys. T3 Air definitely should be online. Yeah, for him and for Hyper and for Extractor, given the T3 strap bomber we saw earlier from him. T3 Air, and still no T3 Air. Again, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go for T3 Air, but it does give a benefit on land for Team 1 on the western side. Gives a benefit for Team 2 overall in the air department. Nano repair has been started for Nicholas. Really wants to get that up line sooner rather than later. Is back up to a little over half, getting some assistance, of course, from his engineers. And after that, he'll probably snipe a couple more units and get that 5-star vetted medal on his chest plate. We do see TAC missile started here for Sock Full of Kids. He has T3 on board. Usually we see T2 missile, T3 Billy Nuke, but he went straight for T3, so which kind of indicates to me he might go straight for Billy Nuke as well. Lovely. It would be lovely to see that. Unlimited health done, says CM Nicholas. Lovely name there from him. I wouldn't say it's I mean, again, the Seraphim probably, that's a better name for the advanced nano repair nonsense that those Seraphim get advanced. Not advanced, but regular nano has been started here for Surdy, trying to restart that upgrade. We'll see if Team 2 tries to thwart that once again. Tactical Nuke has been started here for Team 1. Sock Full of Kids going up pretty quickly. It's loading the actual TAC missile first as it, of course, upgrades the it installs the upgrade. I can't talk for the actual tactical nuke. I don't know why, but it's just on auto build for that tac missile, but you're essentially building the tac missile and the upgrade at the same time, and then it just switches over to the actual tac nuke upgrade. But anyway, enough of the little nonsense there. Nano repair is done for Sturdy, so both of the Cyber Commanders on the western side are A, still alive, and B, both have nano. Nobody, speaking of which, has died, knock on wood for anybody. It's 2.5 minutes roughly till 20 minutes, so lots of players still alive. We have reclaim situation. Apologies for that. Switching back over. Team 1, 1.3. Team 2, 1.5K before 20 minutes is a lot. Leaders in that are Hyper 2001 at 350. Reckler at 280 for Team 2. Team 1, we have Blarg at 250. A couple of 250s actually for Master of Seasons and for Sock Full of Kids. Everybody else is below that. So Hyper 2001 is the leader so far in the mass department. And he has built a Monkey Lord sitting into the middle, and he has started a nuke launcher and is almost done with it. He's also building an SMB at the same time. Lovely choice. And it does look like Black Phoenix. Actually, sorry. Apologies. I forgot that Black Phoenix died. Sorry. People are like, wait, Black Phoenix died. Sorry. It is a 7v6 in favor of Team 2. Team 1 did suffer a loss, so again, apologies for missing that. Again, when you see 14 players and you kind of only see one gray line, you're like, wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, we see CM Nicholas pushing back against the other Cybern forces from Team 1. We see Smithers now being pushed back by a small little brick wall inbound. He should be fine to make it to the water. Again, it's 5-star vet versus 4-star vet. 104 regen versus 108, so barely in favor of Team 2. We do see a little bit of T1, T2 units here for Team 1, and obviously a lot of T3 units for Team 2's player there. Anything else crazy has happened? No, maybe not. Okay, we do see that Monkey Lord hasn't been given any orders yet. Nuke is online for Team 2. Does Team 1 know about it is the question, and they know nothing of what's happening in that southeastern corner. Wow, there's nothing they know about down there. That is not good for the intel gathering here for Team 1. Team 2, is it the same situation, or is it... No, they know some things. They don't know everything, but they know a decent amount at least. That Billy Nuke is almost loaded. It looks like it's hard to tell because he's building a anti-air SAM launcher right there. Actually, it doesn't even look like he started the missile loading, so we'll see what happens with that. But Sudik going for the laser, kills off CM Nicholas. He's not getting out of there. That's why I'm confidently saying he's going to kill him off. There it is. Nice revenge there. Both players were dropped into the red, but Sudik gets a little bit of revenge and drops him to death first. It drops this game to a 6v6 tied-up game at almost 20 minutes. So, again, apologies. I think that was more of a jinx here against Nicholas because I made that comment earlier. But Team 1 now with Surdy with the laser upgrade on board is going to continue to push on the western side. Twitch and Whipple will gain control of CM Nicholas's stuff and probably will keep it, given he is essentially on that front line anyways. But Rye Guys has to be careful, and it looks like he is going to retreat. He's like, get me out of there. CM Nicholas is like, move, run. He has a laser. Go for it. Just get out of there. Monkey down the middle here for Team 2. Twitch Mofo builds an experimental. There it is. There's the monkey. Oh, and I have an idea where it's going. I have, well, two ideas. Down the middle or down on the western side. T2PD gonna not really be that much of a bother here for Team 1. But again, it does put a huge target on Suri's commander because of that laser upgrade on board. Team 2 is probably going to bomb that out of existence here shortly if they haven't already started planning to do so already. But they could just use a nuke because it's already half loaded. And again, Team 1 has no idea that they have one. Spy plane's inbound to get a readout what Team 1's up to. Yuthotha online for Master of Seasons going to the middle to intercept that Monkey Lord. And it does look like the Perseus will drive the but the Monkey Lord away. Couple of deceivers trying to deceive the Monkey Lord that can easily see it. I don't think that's that useful. Actually, well, those are Team 2's forces. Apologies. Oh, that is not the button I wanted. But, you know, at the end of the day, the deceivers are trying to deceive the Monkey Lord. Very much a interesting statement, at least. Western side, couple of tac missiles are annihilated. Sodi is receiving a lot of tickles from those tickle cannons on the Cerberus T2PD mounted heads. And unfortunately for Team 2, that position will be denied and destroyed. Lots of mass being donated by Rye Guys to everyone, and Billy Nuke has landed in the middle of the map. I don't know why he's sending all of his power and energy to power and mass to everybody, but he's doing it for some reason. Monkey has been started by him as well. Second monkey, Crab has been started by Twitchy Mofo, and Nuke has been almost loaded, and don't know what's really going on down here. Just looks like air expansionary efforts. That's really about it. Team 1, air expansionary efforts quite nicely here for Blarg, and we see a lot of air grids being spammed up by Sockful of Kids. Duelist still holding position in the middle, getting a lot of T3 land facilities online. Nuke is outbound. Where is it going? I have one of two ideas. Air grid or probably annoying nonsense somewhere. Don't know where it's going exactly. It's going westward. Looks like it's going to go for maybe this position up to the northwest for Master of Seasons or Assurity. But we have Monkey Lord inbound trying to chase down that column of Sock full of kids. Team 2 has spotted him, but the chicken is going to intercept, assisted by T2 gunships from Sock full of kids. The Monkey Lord staying barely online. The chicken still not firing, but there's a lot of stingers here. There goes the kill on the Monkey Lord. Saves his life, and it is inbound to the west for Suri's base. Partly, of course, motivated, I would assume, by the Mazer laser on board that commander. Here comes the nuke. The first one of the game. Going to strike that crab. Kaboom! Wipes out almost all the P-gens. Wipes out a couple of mexes as well. Immediately building P-gens to try to compensate for the loss in power. He should be fine. Yeah, he's actually doing pretty good considering. And another building nuke lands now on Twitchy Mofo's front line. We have Sudi continuing to push with the laser. Is dropping in hit points, though. Has to be a little bit careful because that Monkey Lord is inbound. It is a fresh one, and there's a lot of T3 units here to try to mow that down. There's also T3 units inbound for Sudi's comp, so I think it's going to be just a full send to try to kill him off immediately. 23 minutes, 24 seconds on the clock. Team 1 and Team 2 have both lost a player. Team 1 losing Black Phoenix before 20 minutes, and CM Nicholas being killed off just barely before 20 minutes as well. Team 1 and Team 2's eco. Team 1 1.6, Team 2 2K. And of course, because of the 270,000 mass reclaim, Team 1 at 200. Team 1 at 200, Team 2 at 180. Almost 400,000 mass reclaimed at 23 minutes. Map control, kind of 50-50-ish. I think it's just barely in favor of Team 1 if you count this western side over here, but it does look like Team 2 is going to cause them to leave, cause a mass exodus from Team 1 with the Monkey Lord and supporting Brick Forces. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, because why not at this point, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, because why not at this point, do those things, because why not? It's free. I know that you support the channel regardless if you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Just watching a video is more than enough. Anything beyond that is very, very appreciated. And of course, we have some stingers inbound to sting the backside of that Monkey Lord. Just barely, but these bricks are probably not all going to make it. Some of them will. Some of them will not. ASFs are inbound, and yeah, that's a dead amount of stingers. A couple of bricks have been eliminated, to be fair, and explosion in the middle. It is a building nuke. I don't want to miss any sort of calm deaths, at least as of right now. Sudi will have to get out of the water immediately due to the amount of torpedoes coming off of those bricks. There are a couple of other units in the water that have torpedoes, so it's not a entirely one-sided affair. We have units down the middle here from Master of Seasons. There is a crab trying to halt their incoming aggression, but it's only slow progress. He can fire while moving backwards very slowly, but he can fire while moving backwards. That might be enough. Maybe some gunship assistance, maybe from Hyper, and there is a monkey over here, so maybe that would dissuade Team 1 from intercepting. Laser started here for Hyper, maybe Telemazer inbound. Second nuke is already half loaded. Team 1 probably spammed up SMDs immediately all around the map to counter Team 2's nuke. And we do see the base here for Sudi being repaired quite nicely for him. We do see the Monkey Lord has been eliminated, and Sudi on a transport donated over from this base of Sockful of Kids. Continental, make sure he's a little bit more protected on board, and just make sure that he gets out of there before he was killed off. He was hurting a little bit, but he just didn't want to get caught up by the bricks and die. So definitely a smart play there. Teleporter has started for Hyper. He is going Telemazer. Again, there are 4 Cybern Commanders remaining for Team 2. Team 1 only has Sudi for Telemazer technology. So if they lose him, they lose their Telemazer Commander. And Team 2 still has 3 more if Hyper 2001 does not make it back home or isn't successful or whatever else may happen to him. Knock on wood to see if he actually survives or not. Again, it's kind of a mixed bag. Usually it's a suicide play, but sometimes it could be very devastating. And that player with the telemaser just somehow escapes death like 30 times, and that's the game right there because he eliminated everything on the map pretty much. Chicken assisting some Percy forces from Team 2, killing off Percy forces for Team 1, assisted by gunships from Wrecketh. Their ASFs have stacked up quite nicely for both teams. It does look like Team 2's Hyper 2001 is the main air player for Team 2, whereas Team 1 is kind of splitting the duties between Sockful of Kids and Blarg. It does look like it's a little bit more in favor for Sockful of Kids, but there are a decent amount of ASFs online for Blarg. But he's been focusing a little bit more on gunships, given the couple of squadrons over here on that eastern side. Smithers finishes an experimental. It is a chicken, and he will assist with defense on the western side for himself and his teammate of Suri, and of course everything else on that western side. Second chicken has emerged from Master of Season, so there's 3 chickens on the western side. Another nuke outbound from Hyper 2001. Where is it going? Actually, no, it's not from Hyper 2001, but it is from Team 2 on the eastern side, inbound from Stormy Style and UEF doing UEF things. The satellite has been started for him. It is inbound. Is it going to strike the duelist's base? Does he have an SMD? He does not. And that SMD is loaded, so unless Team 2 win after this, that is a dead base for Team 1. Fatboy hanging out next to some engineers. The nuke is going to drop in the middle of his base. That's definitely going to hurt. And, of course, kaboom! There it goes. There goes my voice a little bit, too. Ouch. Fatboy does take a little bit of damage, but the shield did block a decent amount of it, protecting the engineers at least a little bit. D3 landing quarters is still alive, but a decent hole in that main production manufacturing facility has been wiped out. So can't spam out as many units as he once could, but he does retain most of his mass. So trade? I would argue probably in the short term it's worse to not have as many units. In the long term it's better to have the mass income. So if there was an incoming force from Team 2, yeah, definitely not great. But in terms of a longer play, it's definitely better for the duelist to have more of that mass still be online. Second nuke outbound from Team 2's Hyper 2001. Third one outbound in total. Going for the western side. It's going for Suri and Smithers' base. And if that player doesn't move, he is DOD or DOA or DED or something. He's an acronym of being dead. Transport taking Team 1 Sockful of Kids to the west. I don't know where exactly he's going, but the nuke will land before he gets there anyways. Both players are being pinged. This could be a double kill here for Team 2. Suri is further away than Smithers is, and Smithers might be a casualty of this nuke. Kaboom! There it goes. And Suri does take a little bit of damage from that nuke. Nice grab by Hyper 2001. That is a snipe with the nuke, dropping this game to a 6v5 in Team 2's favor once again. And 2 crabs fending off against 2 chickens. That chicken is almost dead. Monkey coming in from the side to help distract those forces, and it will pull all of the T3 land forces and allow the crabs to just annihilate the hit points on board that chicken. Of course, the monkey will be a sacrificial lamb, unfortunately, but it does benefit Team 2. Not only does the reclaim sit on Team 2's side of the map, they don't lose as much infrastructure, and it was a nice engagement nonetheless. So nice ambush there from Team 2. Even though the ambush wasn't successful in of itself, the effect of the ambush was definitely felt by Team 1's remaining forces. Satellite over the top going after a Fat Boy because why not? Because why not? I don't know why it's going after the Fat Boy. There's a lot of mexes that could easily be targeted, but we'll see what his thinking is with that. Nuke is a little under half loaded, killed off 39,000 mass. Team 2's Hyper 2001's nuke over here to the west, killed out 83. So average 40,000 plus. Definitely a good nuke there. Telemaser possible here for Wrecketh. Telemaser, of course, is online for Hyper. He hasn't found a target yet or hasn't decided to go for one yet. And there is a lot of gunships online, so Team 1 is not out of this yet. They could go for early game ender. 29 minutes on the clock. 40-something seconds on the clock as well, so more than enough time. T3 artillery has been started and almost done for Master of Seasons. Did Team 2 start any of their own artillery? Nope. Nope. And nope. Oh. No, that's not anything. And no, that's just match bat farms. Another attack in the east. ASFs just obliterate those Restorer balls. ASFs from Team 2 will also obliterate all the ASFs from Blarg. There are still a lot of gunships online for Rector. Those were not vulnerable. Well, they are a little bit more vulnerable to ASF fire, but they do have AA weapons on board. Not as good as the Restorers, but they are something. It's better than the broadsword. One chicken, one crab walking to a bar on the western side. And don't think there's really a lot to intercept it. There are 2 crabs over here, but they're, of course, going to try to walk this way. They will probably meet up right here, but we'll see if Team 1 pushes that far in with those forces. With the death of Smithers, we do see that Suri has gained control of the western side. He's going for cloaking, which in an offensive capacity, not great. It really isn't. Defensive capacity, really good. Because Twitchy Mofo does have an Omni online, so if he walks into anything in that red little circle, or crimson red circle there, that is going to be spotted immediately. And, of course, any spy planes or whatnot over the top. Or Novak Satellite also has an Omni on board. And that cloaking has been denied, unfortunately, here for Team 1 Suri, as he has been shot at by some bricks in the water. A couple of Percys killed off by the Billy Nuke inbound from Sockful of Kids. He killed off 43,000 mass. So far, more mass than the nuke from Team 2's Stormy style. But, again, once that nuke fires, another one that should go above that number quite nicely. But another Billy Nuke is up, and maybe not. He's firing those pretty quickly, Sockful of Kids. Laser is over the top of Duelist's base. He's been hit by a nuke. Now he's being shot at by a laser. He's not having a good time this game in terms of the luck with those targeting from Team 2. Artillery is done. As we can see, second one maybe soon, but he is going for a chicken first. Eastern side, artillery has been started by Sockful of Kids. And nothing else that I have spotted for Team 1 as... Ooh! Scathis is over almost half done. But Suri has been assassinated by Hyper 2001. I might just include that just so we can watch it. So the strap bombing run on Suri's comm started with these bricks from Twitchamofo kicking Suri out of his cloaking upgrade and out of the water. And you can see in the southeastern direction there are the strap bombers inbound now. And of course, due to the fact that his teammate of Twitchamofo has spotted the comm of Suri, he is inbound. He's still on his way. We'll actually get a picture of what he can see right now. I can't actually do that when I pulled that up. That's unfortunate. There it is. You can see he doesn't see him right now, but he should see him shortly. Strap bombers are released, and because I think he clicked on the comm, the bombs actually drop regardless if he has vision or not. So now, nope. See, I'm unfortunate you can't just switch between players' views. No, I can't. No, there it goes. They're dropping the bombs now. See, they don't even see him right now, which is interesting. But because he clicked on him while he was seen from earlier, which is weird that he's not on vision. There he is. He pops up now. Bombs drop, and it's just going to be one after the other, after the other, after the other, and there we go. I brought a couple more in just in case, but that is the bombing run on Suri's comm. Hopefully you're enjoying the rest of the replay, and again, if you do like these cut-ins with the deaths of players that I do miss, let me know down in the comments, and again, hopefully you're enjoying the rest of the replay, because even though we exactly know what happened to his death, I might just include that kill on that western side. I was pretty close, but just barely missed it. Team 1 loses another player, and that is now a 4v6 in Team 2's favor at 32 minutes on the clock. That Scathis could be the game changer that Team 1 needs. It is early enough to make a difference. There is an SMD to protect it, and it is loaded, and there is an SMD there to also protect it in case of the trajectory from said nuke from Team 2. That nuke is fired from Hyper 2001's position going westward, and the Duelist is assassinated by Hyper 2001's Telemazer. He's killed off 2 players so far in this, actually 3 players so far in this game, all different methods. We had a nuke, we had a Telemazer, we had a strap bombing run. But Hyper 2001 teleports in, goes after Master of Seasons. Looks like he may or may not make it out, but he is going to get another kill before he dies. Does get a chunk in veterancy, though. I don't, like I said, think he's going to make it out of there. Maybe he'll help kill off the artillery. No, he won't. That is a kill here for Team 1 and Team 2. It is a essentially a draw between him and Master of Seasons. It is a 2v5 still in favor of Team 2 at 32 minutes. That Scathis needs to be built immediately. It is almost in the green. That, like I said, that could save Team 1, but there's a lot of land aggression inbound on the western side. I don't know if it's going to be enough to stop anything in the back line. We do see Recruiter going for Nano. The base here for technically Twitchy that once belonged to Hyper is now being transferred over to him. So he has a lot of mass now in his coffers. Tons of gunships, a couple of strap bombers stacked up. We have laser over the top in the sky. And I don't really see a huge amount of momentum shifting in Team 1's direction. Gunships just ripping everything apart. It's going to come down to APM essentially. Can Team 1 recover? There's multiple attacks in the east, the west, and the middle here. And it might just be a little bit too much for Team 1 to bear. And even if that Scathis comes online, which it is going to be fair, it will be built. But I just don't know if it'll have enough time to operate. You know, the air grids are decently shielded. I'm getting shielding now, but that one has some shielding. This has a tiny bit more than not enough to cover the Scathis or to prevent the Scathis, but at least enough to cover a one-ish volley. Gunships inbound to the east, going after Blarg's commander. That's a kill here for Team 2's Recruiter. Drops this game to a 5v1, leaving Sock full of kids, the last remaining player in the game at 70,000 mass killed with his commander, of course, heavily assisted by that Billy Nuke ASF fight in the northeast. And I think Team 2 is going to lose it, but at a bare minimum, the SMD is down, which means that the Nuke will make it through. If it doesn't clip the SMD, which it won't, due to it not being launched from Hyper's position, just because it's a little bit more shifted to the west there. And here it comes. It's inbound. It's going to land. It's going to be a big, big explosion. Lots of dead stuff. Scathis has started firing. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Megaliths are inbound. Megalith is being built. Second one coming online. There goes the Nuke there, going after those Yathothas. But here comes the Nuke to the northeast. The Scathis. The Novax is there to witness it. Go boom! Wipes out all of that air grid. And here is Sock full of kids taking some gunship fire, dropping into the yellow. He has 60 hit points a second regen. There are some T2 gunships inbound to assist. No AA in the mix, and Team 2, of course, will spot that Scathis. But like I said, even if the Scathis did not have this megalith threat over here to the west, there's the land invasion down the middle. Sock full of kids getting on a transport, trying to be picked up and get out of there. Does get picked up quite nicely. Artillery online here for Team 2, most likely the Duke, built by Stormy Style. And that megalith will not be enough. Second one is almost done. That could help a lot. We have a couple of hives trying to reclaim those those bricks to help satisfy not only the eco requirements, but also taking out units at the same time. We have gunships still assassinating this air grid to the north. Teleportation is inbound from Team 2. I would assume it's either Twitchy or Rye Guys or Recruiter. I think it's Recruiter, I believe. And that is going to be Chickens or Telemazer. Billy Nuke is inbound. Might hit his own units there. It does actually hit his own units. And that Scathis is still barely online. And there is Recruiter. He's on a transport. There he goes. He's like, get me out of here. And I don't know where he's going to go. ASFs are nearby. Either he lands down. Gunship's trying to assassinate Recruiter's commander before he can get there. Needs to get back on that transport. Needs to get out of there. Ooh, strap bomber. Ooh, that's yeah. Good luck getting out of that. Boom. There we go. And it kills off the transport as well. Team 2 wins the game at 36 minutes, 31 seconds. And that is the game, folks. Thanks so much for watching. The Scathis survived. It was going to die because one of the crabs was already killed off, but it did take some damage. So the Scathis did remain the one and only game ender of the game, unless somebody else either was building one or hit it from me or something. Yeah, I don't see anything. It looks like it was going after the Nuke, which it almost killed off, and the artillery emplacement. Oh, it did take off the satellite, so that is something. Or that was Stormy Style. Yeah, that is a quantum gateway, so that's not. Anyway, in terms of the MVP for the game, it was a little bit of a shorter game, but hey, that doesn't mean that it wasn't explosive nonetheless. Team 2's Ooh, I think Hyper 2001 gets MVP. He got a really good air grid going. He as well got a nuke online, which he used to kill off one player as well as take out a base. Now the base up here to the northwest. He also was able to kill off another player with his strat bombers and another player with his telemazer and then another player with his telemazer. Granted, he died in that one, but killing off 2 players back to back plus a third one right before that and then a fourth one earlier than that. So half of the Team 1 was killed off by Hyper 2001, so definitely a good 4-to-1 KD ratio there, as well as he was producing a lot of mass in this game. So I do think overall, I think Hyper 2001 gets it. Again, there was a lot of good plays by other players, and Team 1 did a couple of good plays as well, but I think Hyper had a huge impact on the game even after his death, that it just really shaped the essential late to end game of the match. So let me know down in the comments if you agree or not. Again, I will probably include the clip of Black Phoenix dying as well as Suri dying to that strap bomber run. I got there in a second. So note of that, it will be in the replay versus it being at the end of the replay or the end of the cast, not at the end of the cast, at the when they died, essentially, the whole combobulated and whatnot. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments if you did or not by doing any of those YouTube things that YouTube loves to see. And of course, as always, I will see all of you in the next one.